Hi everyone, this is a collective tarot reading for the Mercury Retrograde, which will be taking place for most of April. It'll be stationing retrograde on April 1st and then stationing direct on April 25th. That's most of the month. This reading is targeted at lightworkers, so if you want more peace, love, health, and wealth in the world, you are who I am reading for. So yeah, I don't have a good overhead setup for the Kachina knife that I like doing for these retrograde readings, which is why I broke out the small deck for this. And as always, we have 3 oracle cards to decide. You can pick which 1, 2, or 3 resonate with you the most. I'm going to be honest, it's possible that the light is changing. I was so eager to record this in the living room while the sun was still up, but it's setting in like 10 minutes, so we'll see if I can finish in time. So, and if not, then the lighting will just be a bit more sterile towards the end. All right, let's cut the deck, see what we have. So in the present energy, we have Temperance reversed. Okay, yeah, based solely off of these 3 cards so far, the vibe that I'm getting is one of review. You know, Temperance is a card of mixing and balancing and things like that. And in reverse, in the context of a reading for Mercury retrograde, I'm totally reading it that way. With the other 2 cards upright here, it's looking like review before taking the leap towards something. That's the most straightforward way to summarize this. And in the past leading up to this, we have the 6 of Swords. This card has been coming up a lot lately in general. And I think it came up for the lunar eclipse reading as well, but I don't remember. Anyway, it's a card of changing perspectives. I don't think it's relevant to go into detail very much on this at this point. In the future, we have the Chariot reversed, okay? Main advice card is the Queen of Wands, okay? And supporting advice is the 3 of Cups with the Moon at the bottom of the deck. All right, so I'm going to stare at this. This is looking like a fairly straightforward message, honestly. Yeah, the only 2 reverse cards in the whole thing are Temperance and the Chariot. Very interesting. All right, I'll see you right now. So yeah, I didn't need to stare at this for particularly long. I would say that the overall advice that the tarot is guiding, offering us for this month, practically, of Mercury retrograde is to be open to, because eclipse season is also, like Mercury is stationing retrograde during eclipse season. So we're going to get that double whammy, especially during the first half of April, right? So to be open to the opportunities that the world will offer us. Some of those opportunities may come in the form of disasters on the surface. You know, that's not even that big of a gamble, if you know what I mean, unfortunately. But regardless of anything, if you keep in mind that you can handle anything, and if you can't, you might know someone who does. I really like this Queen of Wands, 3 of Cups combo as advice cards. Because again, when we're flying by night, you know, when things are more confusing than usual, and in the midst of that, we are reviewing the basics and figuring out how we can mix the things that we have within ourselves together, for starters. And then the world keeps hitting us with curveballs on top of that. It can be very tempting to A, doubt yourself, but B, to resist even acknowledging the curveball, as opposed to wondering what you can do with the curveball now that it's here, you know? This is looking like a, and especially what strikes me so much about this Temperance Chariot, both reverse combo. First of all, we have 7 and 14. So like the numerology, You get what I mean. Numbers wise, we have two cards of mixing opposites. I was talking about how the Temperance is a card of mixing things. Well, the Chariot is also a card of taking opposites and driving them together, making them work together through sheer will. You know, that's the message of the card. And the black and white panthers, sphinxes, who are you know, tied to this chariot, pulling it along and going in the will of the, going in the direction that their driver wills it, despite their differences with each other, you know. And to have this with the Three of Cups here, I have the feeling that the friendships that you have, that you're bringing into this Mercury retrograde, are going to be particularly valuable, if only to have people to bounce ideas off of, if only to have people, like I said earlier, if you can't do it, maybe you know someone else who can, that kind of thing. And also for moral support. And I don't even think it's needed. Again, like, these are the only two reverse cards. So it's not like... I'm not seeing anything bad. However, we have the newness of the Fool and the confusion and fly-by-night of the Moon underpinning the entire reading, you know? So having the fog in the background makes it difficult to integrate your knowledge and bring forth the world that we want to create together, you know? So just... Again, see April as I'm using Mercury retrograde and April interchangeably, it seems, but see April as a gauntlet, not in the scary way, in the challenge way, in the obstacle course way. But instead of having, it's like an obstacle course that has a thick fog through it, and you're kind of, you know, you've been training for this for a while, and now it's time to test your skills. So, and that's another nice thing about Temperance too, is that there's a lightness, there's an aloofness to that that energy. You know, it's blending the unmixable together and making it look easy. You know, of all the cards to have reversed in a reading like this for a time like this, yeah, let's cut ourselves some slack. You know. Actually, I think that's a mic drop. Honestly, I don't think I have much that I left much on the table. You know, we got this collectively. We're champions. It's just a lot of turbulence to wade through, and that'll challenge the best of us, you know? Yeah. So let's move on to the Oracle card portion. I might get this. Yeah. The sun is, the sky is bright enough. All right. If you chose this card, you have Leo. What is this? Shine. Well, this is nice. I guess it is an invitation to not shy away from stepping. I hate the phrase "step into your power," probably because I say it a lot, and second of all, because a lot of people say it a lot. But to really pounce on the opportunities and don't be shy about it. If you're the best person for the job, then just do the job, and it's. There's not even any problem if you're like, hey, watch me do this, and then do the job, you know? Even if you fall flat on your face or step on the rake, you know, this is Mercury retrograde. At least you're there trying, you know? So you have that going for you. Let's move on. If you chose the Prism, your card is, what is this? Hunger. Ooh, I like this card. Okay. I would... How to integrate the concept of hunger here? Give me a second, actually. All right, it snapped into place. So if you chose this card, I would take this as a warning to be mindful of your information diet, because the central theme of this card is, well, a hole that we are tempted to fill, you know, because of all this non-hole around it. This hole is just begging to be filled, you know, and at times like this, because when things are confusing, it's that much more tempting to reach out to the nearest, most certain person, you know, certain in the sense of being certain, and that is. Like, It's good to rely on people. I did read this Three of Cups here in this reading. However, there might be a danger of not trusting your own ability to figure it out on your own, and to basically build your own white noise to fill your own hole. All right, that was a mic drop. If you chose this card, your card is Soul Time. Wow. I'm actually gonna break out the reading light. Like, this shot looks good, but it's getting a bit dark for me. Give me a second. Great. The frequency of Soul Time asks us to show the possibility. Wait. The frequency of Soul Time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge. Oh boy. One that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. This is worth a reread. The oh boy was because of how, you can't make this stuff up, how eerily it fits into this. So it bears repeating. The frequency of Soul Time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporeal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. So, just be curious. I think I wish you could see my face right now. I'll eventually have some kind of setup like this. But the way I would read this card is the vibe of allowing. I think that the people who chose this card are at risk of stubbornly sticking to their thing. I don't mean you watching this, of course. I mean the others, but you watching this might probably benefit from listening to me say this to others, okay? The others who picked this card, I think that they would benefit from just seeing how things play out and being okay with the possibility of not being certain, because there's a lot of uncertainty ahead. That's true in general. I'm not even talking about April. I'm talking about the next couple of years. So when we enter a time of review, of reflection, and things like that, it's also a good time to review and recenter yourself on the things that that you thought you needed but you don't. I have the feeling that I'm rambling, but I'm going somewhere with this, and I know that I haven't said the thing that I want to say. I'm sorry I'm taking so long for you guys. It's the other's fault. Wait, actually. My little quip distracted me, and I was just apologizing for taking this long. So the thing I was trying to say is the leap to certainty is a mechanism of control. It's also a coping mechanism. Basically, be okay with being uncertain. I think that the risk that the others who chose this card have, that I was so desperate to get out there, is one that when things appear uncertain, a reflex that people sometimes have is to just be certain anyway. And I would warn you against that, or at least that's what I would tell the others who chose this card, not you watching this. So I think that is a good time to wrap, and I made it before the sun completely set. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give this video a like. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll have a great month of April. Take care. I'll see you soon.